new book this week. And this one's a fun one. It's called Down to the Sea with Mr. Magee. We're in a boat in the ocean. All right, let's check it out. The author of this book, you'll see it on the cover, as well as the title page. It's Chris Van Dusen. All right. Look, hanging out with his dog. Sounds like a good day. Mr. Magee and his little dog Dee love spending time in their boat on the sea. So early one morning at 6:32, they made a decision. That's just what they'd do. They're going to go on their boat. Right after breakfast, Magee packed a lunch. Sandwiches, carrots, a thermos of punch, a big box of raisins, some sweet pickled beets, chocolate chip cookies, and crunchy dog treats. With plans for the day and enough lunch for 3, they hopped in the car and drove down to the sea. The pair left the dock at 7 o'clock and motored their way around Eagle Egg Rock. They passed by the lighthouse and by the old wreck with Magee at the wheel and Dee on the deck. Oh, a big wreck. Look, he's on the deck of the boat. They suddenly spied, off the bow to the east, a big pot of whales. There were 50 at least, splashing about in the bright morning sun, feasting on shrimp and sardines by the ton. But one little whale who had eaten his fill, munching on minnows and plankton and krill, was bored with his breakfast, and since he was through, he swam off in search of something to do. What is he gonna do? Look at all of those whales. See all of their fins, their tails. There's one down here. What's he gonna do? Now Dee and Magee and their boat on the bay didn't notice a whale that was heading their way. They were watching the other whales put on a show, and soon that young whale was directly below. Do you see the shadow? The tail? Uh-oh. From under the sea, the little whale spied Magee and Dee's boat, but not them inside. He longed for adventure. He wanted to play, so he bumped at the boat in the most friendly way. When the whale placed his blowhole directly below, and ever so gently, he started to blow. Look at them. Do they look how do they look? A little shocked? A little nervous? What do you think? And it's blowhole below. What is the blowhole for? To breathe? Magee saw the bubbles. He felt the boat sway. Then up went the boat on a fountain of spray. Higher and higher the little blue boat flew, as harder and harder the little whale blew. Then the whale blew a blast as hard as he could, much harder than than the little whale should. And that final blast blew the boat up in the sky. First 30, then 40, then 50 feet high. Oh no! Look, he's in the sea. And blew the boat up. The boat kept on rising, but it didn't stop there. Wind hit it hard, and it flew through the air. Dee and Magee sailed over the sea, when all of a sudden, what happened? See, there's the blow from the blowhole. And they're flying with the pelicans. their tree. So there they were, stranded, Magee and his pup, in the top of a spruce, 60-something feet up. Oh, we're gonna get down. From their perch in the sky, the two watched in dismay as the whale far below swam far away. Magee, downhearted, just what can he do? They seemed hopelessly stuck. But little Dee knew the secret to get the boat safely unpinned was to rock back and forth and wait for the wind. So they rocked and they rocked for an hour or so. But the boat didn't budge because the wind didn't blow. Just when he thought they'd be stuck there all night, they spotted far off a spectacular sight. What can they see? What are they checking out? Away in the distance, across the blue bay, the whales, all 50, were headed their way. They swam through the water in one long straight row and gathered around the small island below. Magee looked down at the circle of whales surrounding the island and raising their tails. He felt a bit nervous, a little bit tense. Then all of a sudden, it made perfect sense. They're trying to save us, he shouted with glee. Hold on, Dee, hold on, as tight as can be. They're all circling the tree. Hold on tight. Their tails slapped down with a thunderous crash, which in turn created a super high splash that covered the island and raced up the tree and dislodged the boat and set them both free. Dee was so happy he let out a yelp. Magee tipped his hat to the whales for their help. Thank you, my friends, for saving the day. They all waved goodbye, and the whales swam away. On the way home, little Dee had a thought. What about the food they had brought? In all the excitement, they ate not a bite. I'm probably hungry, huh? So they saved it and had it for dinner that night. Okay, let's sit at the table. How many of you guys sit at the table with your doggy for dinner? My doggy would love that. The end. The end. Bye. See you next time.